Ever find yourself hiding from your crush in Tesco, hoping they didn't see you in your joggers and that ketchup stain on your t-shirt? Yeah, same here. It's like the universe has a cruel sense of humor, placing you in the most awkward situations at the worst possible times. You think you're safe, just popping in for a quick snack, and then bam! There they are, looking effortlessly perfect while you look like you just rolled out of bed. It's a nightmare scenario that plays out far too often for some of us. Welcome to the confusing world of anxious avoidant attachment, where wanting a relationship and running away from one happen at the same time. It's a paradox that leaves you feeling like you're constantly at war with yourself. One moment, you're daydreaming about romantic getaways and cozy nights in, and the next, you're plotting your escape route the second someone shows genuine interest. It's exhausting, to say the least. It's like having a self-destruct button, and mine's super sensitive. The slightest hint of vulnerability or emotional closeness, and my fingers hovering over that button, ready to press it. It's a defense mechanism, sure, but it's also incredibly isolating. You end up pushing people away before they even have a chance to get close, all because you're terrified of getting hurt. You want someone, you really do. You crave that connection, that feeling of being understood and accepted. You see other people in happy relationships and think, why can't that be me? But then the fear kicks in, and all those hopeful thoughts are replaced with anxiety and doubt. It's a constant tug-of-war between your heart and your mind. But when someone gets close, boom, panic time. Your heart races, your palms get sweaty, and all you can think about is how to get out of the situation. It's like your brain goes into overdrive, coming up with all the reasons why this won't work, why you need to protect yourself. And before you know it, you've sabotaged yet another potential relationship. It's like finding a fiver only to realize it's stuck to some old chewing gum. At first, you're excited, thinking you've struck gold. But then reality sets in and you realize it's not as great as it seemed. That's what it's like when you finally muster the courage to let someone in, only to be reminded of why you built those walls in the first place. The disappointment is palpable, and it reinforces your belief that maybe you're better off alone. So close, yet so far. You can see the possibility of love and connection, but it always feels just out of reach. It's like there's an invisible barrier keeping you from fully experiencing it. You reach out, but something always holds you back. It's frustrating and disheartening, but you can't seem to break the cycle, or, no relationship. Sometimes it feels easier to just avoid the whole mess altogether. You tell yourself that you're fine on your own, that you don't need anyone else to be happy. And maybe that's true to an extent, but deep down, you know that you're missing out on something special. The loneliness creeps in, and you start to wonder if you'll ever find someone who understands you. We, my friend, are like a broken traffic light, sending out all the wrong signals. One minute, we're giving the green light, inviting someone in. The next, we're flashing red, warning them to stay away. It's no wonder people get confused and frustrated with us. We're a walking contradiction, and it's hard to navigate relationships when you're constantly sending mixed messages. We're like dodgy Wi-Fi, you can see it, but you can't connect. The signal is there, but it's weak and unreliable. People try to get close, but they can't seem to make a lasting connection. It's frustrating for everyone involved, and it leaves you feeling even more isolated. But maybe, just maybe, with a little self-awareness and effort, we can start to improve our signal and finally make those meaningful connections we've been longing for. Here's the thing about us anxious avoidants. We're always fighting with ourselves. It's like having a constant debate in your mind, where both sides are equally convincing but completely opposed. You want to take a step forward, but something inside you pulls you back. It's a tug-of-war that leaves you feeling exhausted and stuck in place. Imagine a boxing match between your head and your heart, but both sides are getting knocked out. Each punch thrown is a decision you need to make, and each hit taken is the anxiety that follows. It's a never-ending battle where there are no winners, only a constant state of conflict. Your head says, go chat with them, they seem nice, while your heart's digging an escape tunnel out of your chest. It's tiring, honestly. You see someone you want to talk to, but the fear of rejection or saying something awkward makes your heart race. It's like your body is preparing for a fight or flight response over something as simple as a conversation. One minute you're dreaming of romantic picnics in the park. The next you're convinced any potential boyfriend or girlfriend will find your embarrassing baby photos and run a mile. You imagine the perfect date, but then your mind spirals into worst-case scenarios. What if they don't like you? What if you say something stupid? The fear of vulnerability makes you second-guess every move. It's a roller coaster with a broken safety bar, and the only way off is to jump. And the worst bit? The fear of the unknown is paralyzing. You want to take the leap, but the thought of what might happen if you do is terrifying. It's like standing at the edge of a cliff, looking down and feeling your legs turn to jelly. This fighting inside makes us push people away. We distance ourselves to protect our hearts, but in doing so, we also isolate ourselves. It's a defense mechanism that backfires, leaving us feeling lonely and misunderstood. We want connection, but the fear of getting hurt makes us build walls. We build walls taller than a double-decker bus, secretly hoping someone will climb over them, maybe with a ladder and a bunch of flowers. We crave someone who will make the effort to understand us, to see past our defenses and reach the vulnerable heart inside. But the higher the wall, the harder it is for anyone to get through. It's a bit mad, I know. The constant push and pull, the desire for connection clashing with the fear of vulnerability. It all feels a bit crazy. But it's our reality. It's the way our minds work, and understanding it is the first step towards finding a balance. We need to learn to quiet the noise, to find moments of peace amidst the chaos. Only then can we start to break down the walls and let others in. So, how do we deal with all these feelings and actually have a, normal-ish love life? It's a question that plagues many of us, especially in this fast-paced world where everything seems to be moving at the speed of light. We often find ourselves caught up in a whirlwind of emotions, unsure of how to navigate the complex landscape of love and relationships. But fear not, because taking baby steps can lead to significant changes. Let's break it down. Well, it's not as easy as having a cuppa and suddenly becoming a love expert, if only it were that simple. Relationships require more than just a casual sip of tea and a few pages of a self-help book. They demand time, patience, and a willingness to grow. It's about understanding that love isn't a destination, but a journey, one that requires continuous effort and reflection. It takes effort, the kind you can't just pay someone to fix. First step, knowing yourself. This means taking the time to reflect on your own needs, desires, and boundaries. Journaling can be a great way to explore your thoughts and feelings. Meditation and mindfulness practices can also help you become more in tune with yourself. When you know who you are and what you want, you're better equipped to share that with someone else. It's like realizing you've had a bit of bogey stuck to your nose all day. Embarrassing, right? But once you see it, you can do something about it. Self-awareness is key in relationships. It allows you to recognize your own flaws and work on them. It's not about being perfect, it's about being honest with yourself and your partner. Embarrassing, but at least you know now. And that's a good thing. It means you're growing, learning, and becoming a better version of yourself. Embrace those awkward moments because they are part of the journey. Laugh at yourself, and don't take things too seriously. Love is meant to be joyful after all. Notice when you're pushing people away. Sometimes we do this without even realizing it. Maybe it's because we're afraid of getting hurt, or perhaps we're not ready to let someone in. Pay attention to your body language and your actions. Are you closing yourself off from others? If so, ask yourself why. Understanding the reasons behind your behavior can help you make positive changes. Are you thinking too much? Overthinking can be a major roadblock in relationships. It's easy to get caught up in a cycle of doubt and second-guessing. But remember, not everything needs to be analyzed to death. Sometimes you just need to go with the flow and trust your instincts. Give yourself permission to relax and enjoy the moment. Hiding in your room with crisps and telly? Yep, that's us. It's okay to have those days when you just want to veg out and escape from the world. But don't let it become a habit. Isolation can lead to loneliness and make it harder to connect with others. Balance is key. Make time for self-care, but also make an effort to engage with the world around you. Talking is like the glue that holds relationships together, even when you think it's all falling apart. Communication is essential. It helps you understand each other better and resolve conflicts. Talk to your mates, share your thoughts and feelings, and listen to theirs. Building strong connections with friends can provide a solid support system. Your therapist, more on that later, even your pet hamster. Therapy can be incredibly beneficial. It provides a safe space to explore your emotions and gain insights into your behavior. And while your pet hamster might not be the best conversationalist, having a pet can offer comfort and companionship. Okay, maybe not the hamster, they're not great listeners, but they do make great company. The point is, don't be afraid to reach out and communicate. Whether it's with friends, a therapist, or even a furry friend, talking can help you navigate the ups and downs of love and relationships. So take those baby steps and remember, every little effort counts. Turns out even those wise old philosophers everyone quotes on Instagram knew about our problem. Take Epictetus. He said, "We are disturbed not by what happens to us, but by our thoughts about what happens." See, even a dead philosopher understands. It's not about someone texting K instead of OK or forgetting to use a coaster. It's our anxious avoidant brains making those tiny things into huge problems. And don't forget Seneca, who said, "Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end." So maybe those past relationships that didn't work out weren't bad, but just stepping stones to finding someone who actually gets you, or at least puts up with you.